Good morning, all of you.
Good
So
morning, sir.
in our last week, we completed our 15th group elements. So this week's syllabus, entire 16th group elements. Next week, 17th group elements. So now in this week, we are starting here 16th group. So what are these elements? These are present in the 16th vertical column of the periodic table. So what are those elements? See here, those elements are 16th vertical column. In the periodic table, those elements are nothing but oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. These are the 5 elements present in the 16th vertical column of the periodic table. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. And let us observe atomic numbers of these elements. So atomic number, I am taking Z values for these elements. Oxygen, how much? 8. Sulfur, add to this 8, 16. Next, to this, add 18. 16 plus 16, 32, 32 plus 34 selenium. Next, add one more 18. Add one more 18.
52.
34 plus how much?
52.
82. Add 82.
84.
84. These are the atomic numbers of these elements. Atomic numbers of these elements. Okay. Now what about the electronic configuration? H. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. That means 1s2, 2s2, 2s2, 2p4. 2s2, 2p4. 2 plus 4, 6 electrons. That is 2, 6. It is 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. 2s2, 2p4. That is 2s2, 2p4. So overall 6 electrons. What about sulfur? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p4. ఇక్కడ 6 వస్తాయి. Selenium and so 2h 6 2h 18 not h 16. Next tellurium and
8, 18, 18,
8 18 18 6 and polonium 2h 18
32,
32,
18
32, 18,
6
6.
and
6.
Yes.
so that means every element outermost orbit contains 6 electrons.
Electrons.
That is, it is a 2s2 2p4, it is a 3s2 3p4, 4s2 4p4, 5s2 5p4, 6s2 6p4. And that means in general, ns2 np4 is the outermost electronic configuration for this group elements. ns2 np4. That means S contains 2 electrons. It is ns orbital. It has 2 electrons. np orbital 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, total 4 electrons. So this is the outermost electronic configuration for this group elements. So every element outer shell in ground state contains 2 pairs of electrons, 2 pairs of electrons with 2 unpaired electrons. So that is the ground state electronic configuration. That is the ground state electronic configuration. Outermost ground state electronic configuration for this group elements is ns2 np4. Because this contains 6 electrons in its outermost orbit, that too in the same orbit. That is why this group is called as also called as 6a group. In old notation, it is old notation was. It is new notation. So this is also taken as a 6a group elements. So because this the group starts with oxygen, that is why this is taken as oxygen family. This group is also noted as oxygen family. Now, so see here, boys. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium. Except this polonium, remaining elements generally forms metallic ores. That's why these elements can form ores of the metals. Ore forming ability is there. So already we covered in our metallurgy, boys. Most of the ores are either oxides or sulfides, boys. Am I correct? In our metallurgy, let us observe.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that means these elements can form ores of those metals. So ore forming ability is there in it. So that means these elements have ore forming ability. Right? Ore forming ability. So that's why these are called as chalcogensen. Chalcous nature is nothing but ore condition, ore forming tendency. So that's why 16th group elements are also called as chalcogens. What are those? Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium only, not polonium, boys. Because polonium never formed that ocean. So that's why oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium are collectively called as chalcogens. So chalcogens not includes polonium. Not includes polonium. See here, the last element polonium, it is the radioactive element. In this group, the last element polonium is the radioactive tendency. So this polonium is discovered by Madame Curie. Polonium, that is the metal, boys, which is discovered by Madame Curie in radioactive disintegration. Next. What about the tendency of these elements? So observe, see here, boys. Oxygen exists as a diatomic molecule. Sulfur, selenium, tellurium exists as octaatomic molecules. Sulfur, selenium, tellurium, octaatomic. Oxygen is diatomic. Sulfur, selenium, tellurium are octaatomic. Polonium is monoatomic. Polonium is monoatomic. Okay. So this is about the atomicity of these molecules. These molecules of these elements. So diatomic, octaatomic, sulfur, selenium, tellurium are octaatomic. Polonium is monoatomic. Next, oxygen and sulfur, these two are non-metals. Note on the points. Oxygen, sulfur are non-metals. Selenium, tellurium, these two elements are metalloids. These two elements are metalloids. Polonium is a pure metal. So oxygen, sulfur, non-metals. Polonium is selenium, tellurium are metalloids. Polonium is a pure metal. Polonium is a pure metal. Next, oxygen, O2, is a gas at room temperature. O2 is a gas at room temperature, boys. Remaining all are solids. So all these are solids at room temperature. So all these are except oxygen, remaining all are solids at room temperature. Let us discuss one by one, boys. Okay. Next, polonium. It is radioactive. It is a metal. It is a metal, boys. Okay. So in solid state, metal. So here in solid state, it has metallic bonds. In solid state, it has metallic bonds and it is monoatomic, mind age. It is monoatomic. Polonium is monoatomic. Okay. So these are some brief information about these elements. So what are those non-metallic elements in this group? What are those non-metallic elements?
Oxygen, sulfur.
Sulfur. Selenium. What about selenium and tellurium?
Metalloid.
Metalloids. Polonium is metal. Polonium is metal.
Pure metal.
Okay. Let us discuss some general concepts of these elements, atomic size like that. Ionization energy, electronegativisity, electronegativisity. What are the sequences? Let us observe the points. Why these are called as chalcogens?
Ore forming
Forming of
Forming ability. So metallic ores mostly from oxygen and sulfur cases. So most of the metals can form ores in the earth crust in the form of respective oxides and sulfides. That's why these are called as chalcogens. These are called as chalcogens. Next, our elements: oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Now let us observe atomic size. Subheading: atomic size, boys. Atomic size. What happened? No doubt, in our general case, top to bottom, atomic size increases. It's clear. Top to bottom, atomic size increases. But so oxygen to sulfur, very large increases. Very large increase in atomic size. So oxygen to sulfur, very large increase in atomic size. Next, sulfur and selenium, almost same size, nearly same size. Sulfur and selenium, nearly same size, boys. So next, selenium to tellurium, little increase in size, little increase, selenium to tellurium. Next, almost these two, tellurium and polonium, almost nearly same size. But a little bit polonium is more. So large increase in size, where it is? Between oxygen and sulfur. Between oxygen and sulfur. Let us observe those values. Oxygen. So I'm applying, see here, boys. Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. These are the elements. Now, atomic radius in picometers, I'm writing. So oxygen has 66 picometers. Sulfur has 104 picometers. Sulfur has 104. Selenium has 117 picometers. Next, it is 137 picometers. So polonium has 146 picometers. See here. So 66 to 104, a large increase. After that, almost nearly increase and slightly increase rate, a little increase rate. Almost these two. Generally, but no doubt from oxygen to polonium, atomic size increases. So atomic size increases. It is about atomic size, boys. Now, what about the density? No doubt. So density increases from top to bottom. Density increases from top to bottom. No variation. Density increases top to bottom. Next, ionization energy, ionization enthalpy, as usual, decreases from top to bottom. So regularly decreases, boys. Oxygen. Okay. Next, the most important point, electron affinity. Please, boys, from this, it is the first most important bit from this group elements. Electron affinity. Electron affinity. What about those? Our oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. So polonium is radioactive element, boys. That is why very less information from polonium side we have any. That is why we are restricted only about these elements in most of the cases. Okay. Here, electron affinity of sulfur greater than, selenium greater than, tellurium greater than oxygen. See here, oxygen has least electron affinity because of more electron repulsions. So more electronic repulsions are there. Because of that, oxygen has the least electron affinity in 16th group elements. So sulfur has the greatest electron affinity case. Sulfur has, we see here, boys, not only here. Our 14th group, 15th group, 16th group, 17th group, 14th group, so neglect this. 15th group, nitrogen, phosphorus. 16th group, oxygen, sulfur. 17th group, fluorine, chlorine. No doubt, when compared to second period elements, these are all second period elements. These are all third period elements. When compared to second period elements, third period elements have more electron affinity values, boys. So it is all due to. So in second period elements, so small size is very, very less. So that is why, so there is a greater interelectronic repulsion takes place between incoming electron and already existed electron. Because of that, second period elements have low electron affinity when compared to third period elements. So in this case, that oxygen has least electron affinity.
Polonium
In this case, so what about what?
polonium.
Polonium, అదే చెప్పాను. Polonium has information is very negligible. That's why I'm neglecting that. మన టెక్స్ట్ బుక్ కూడా అంతవరకే ఉంది. You don't worry. ఓకే, పొలోనియం గురించి నేను చెప్తే తప్పితే ఎక్కడ దొరకదండి. దొరికిన ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వరకు చెప్తున్నాను. You don't worry. ఓకేనా? So sulfur has greatest electron affinity. Oxygen has least electron affinity, boys. Okay, next.
Doubt, sir.
Yes.
Sir, when we add an electron energy releases, that is electron affinity, na, sir.
Yes, why not?
Then oxygen has more.
Even though see here oxygen and sulfur, so oxygen atomic size is very, very less. Just now we observe sulfur is a large increase. Okay, so if electron is added here, already oxygen has 6 electrons, very less availability in free space. The 8 electrons only accommodation is there. Already 6 electrons are occupied. Remaining 2 electrons are only accommodation is there. But here sulfur, so it is a third orbit. Third orbit has so 2 s electrons, 6 p electrons. So 10 d electrons are acceptable, available. But only so 2 is first. It is 8 8. So sorry, 2 s electrons, 6 p electrons, 10 d electrons. Overall 18 electrons accommodation is there in the outmost of sulfurate. But only 6 electrons are there. Only 6 electrons are there. So remaining 20 electrons accommodation is there. 6 electrons already. Okay, na? So that's why. So repulsions are very, very less. Repulsions are, that is the electron is easy to come into the sulfur. So that's why there is a large attraction between incoming electron and that is the nucleus of sulfur. Therefore, greater energy will be released. That is why sulfur has more electron affinity when compared to oxygen. Not only this one, fluorine, same theory is applicable. Sulfur, oxygen, same theory is applicable. Phosphorus, nitrogen, same theory is applicable. Same theory is applicable. Next, boys, what happened? Now, what about the atomicity of these elements? What about the atomicity of these elements? No doubt, already we explained, boys, oxygen is a diatomic gas at room temperature. Remaining are octatomic. Polonium is monoatomic. Already we decided, boys. Next, all these are solids. All these are solids, and oxygen is only gas. Why? Why this is happening? See, boys, oxygen is the small size reactor. So see here. So just like N2, there is a pi bond formation is available because of small size of nitrogen and lateral overlapping is possible. So that is why nitrogen has 2 pi bonds. Because of that, the octet configuration is reached only with 2 nitrogen atoms. Just like nitrogen, here oxygen is also there. So oxygen. So atomic number 8, 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. That means 2s2, 2p4, 2s2, 2p4, 2px2, 2py1, 2pz1. So it has 2 lone pairs of electrons and 2 unpaired electrons. That too in py and pz conditions. See here, oxygen has, so it is py orbital and it is pz orbital. It has 1 unpaired electron, it has 1 unpaired electron. Next, one more oxygen. See here.
Sir, waiting room on sir.
It is first oxygen. Just a minute, boys. Just a minute. This is another oxygen. It has p orbitals. So these two are first of all linearly overlapped. That gives a sigma bond. This is p and p end. Sigma pp bond is possible. So these are those electrons. So this oxygen also has unpaired electron. So these two are plus because oxygen is very, very small in size. These two are lateral overlapping is possible. Lateral overlapping is possible. Because of that, between oxygen and oxygen, there is first sigma bond, there is second pi bond and it. So sigma pi overlapping already each oxygen has two lone pairs. So that's why this oxygen attains 8 electrons, this oxygen attains 8 electrons and follows octet configuration. That's why O2 exists in a dimer stage. O2 exists on a reason. ఇదే కాన్సెప్ట్ మనకి N2 లో కూడా చెప్పాను రా అక్కడ ట్రిపుల్ బాండ్ మనం డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం ట్రిపుల్ బాండ్ okay because of small size, very small size, lateral overlapping of orbitals are possible and this type of overlapping is possible because they are very near to each other. So that's why pi bond formation is possible. If atom size is more, these two are far away case, that is why sideways overlapping is not possible. So because of that reason, all these gives only sigma bond, no pi bond formation between similar atoms. Between similar atoms, pi bond formation is almost less percentage when compared to oxygen. So that's why to reach 8 electron configuration for each sulfur, so 8 oxygens are required. That is called as a Packard ring structure. So therefore, O2 it is a linear molecule. Each oxygen has 2 lone pairs. Next, sulfur. Sulfur, 8 sulfurs. See here, it is just like this one. Later we will discuss about the structure of this S8 under the heading sulfur and its compounds. So later we will discuss about this. See here, boys, every corner is a sulfur. How many sulfurs are there?
8, sir.
8 sulfurs. Okay, 8 sulfurs. So all these 8 sulfur, this is called as a Packard ring structure. Packard ring structure or crown-like structure. Am I correct? Is this crown-like or not? Packard ring structure. So both are W. Two ends of the W should be joined. That's enough. Crown-like structure, Packard ring structure. This is S8 molecule, boys. Not only S8, Se8, Te8 also similar like this. Okay, we will discuss about this structure, bond angle, bond length under the heading sulfur and its compounds about sulfur. Please wait up to that. Okay, so this is about atomicity cases, boys. Atomicity. So sulfur is sulfur, selenium, tellurium are octatomic, oxygen is diatomic, polonium is monoatomic. So in polonium, metallic bonds are there in solid state. Next, what about another properties? That is melting and boiling point. So MP and BP values. MP and BP values. So MP, order of MP values, sulfur less than, selenium less than, polonium less than, tellurium. Okay, boiling point values now. Boiling point values. Oxygen less than, sulfur less than, selenium less than, polonium less than, tellurium. Almost see, boys.
Sir,
What
pine-
are those elements? Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Okay, so oxygen to sulfur.
Sir, పైన
Value.
ఆక్సిజన్ లేదు.
లేదా oxygen gas,
Gas, oxygen gas.
oxygen gas. That is why. So we are neglecting that. Next, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. Oxygen to sulfur, oxygen is less, and oxygen to sulfur value increase. Sulfur to selenium also increase in generally. So selenium to tellurium value decrease. After that, increase. After the values increase. So therefore, polonium has more value than that of tellurium. So, sorry. Just a minute. This is less. This is less. Yes. Correct.
Sir,
Okay.
increase or decrease?
ఒక్కసారి ఇది కరెక్ట్ మనకి సల్ఫర్ సెలీనియం టెలూరియం సల్ఫర్ సెలీనియం పొలోనియం టెలూరియం అండి
Sir,
Least value.
selenium to polonium decreases, selenium to tellurium increases.
ఇంక్రీజెస్ అప్ టు టెలూరియం
Then decrease.
ఇక్కడ నుండి ఇక్కడికి ఇంక్రీజ్
Polonium
అయింది
decreases.
ఇక్కడ నుండి ఇక్కడికి ఇంక్రీజ్ అయింది ఇక్కడ డిక్రీజ్ అయింది ఓకే సరిపోయింది ఇప్పుడు
Yes, sir.
ఓకే ఇట్ ఈస్ కరెక్ట్ అండి మనకి సో సల్ఫర్ టు సెలీనియం ఇంక్రీజ్ సెలీనియం టు టెలూరియం ఇంక్రీజ్ బట్ టెలూరియం టు పొలోనియం డిక్రీజ్ అండి ఓకే సో దిస్ ఈస్ వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ సో వై సార్ వై నాట్ అంటే టెలూరియం దగ్గరికి వచ్చేసరికి ఎన్ఎస్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ ఇనెట్ పేర్ ఎఫెక్ట్ కండిషన్స్ అప్లై అవడం వల్ల ఆ బాండింగ్ ఆ టెండెన్సీ వల్ల ఈ వేరియేషన్ అనిపిస్తూ ఉంటాయి సో దిస్ ఈస్ అబౌట్ ఎంపీ అండ్ బీపీ వాల్యూస్ అండ్ ఆర్డర్స్ అండి ఇది కూడా చాలా జాగ్రత్త అండి చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ అబౌట్ ఎంపీ అండ్ బీపీ వాల్యూస్ నెక్స్ట్ electronegativity of our 16th group elements. Please keep in mind this is also important. Oxygen, highest electronegativity is oxygen is the second best electronegative element. Oxygen greater than, selenium greater than, sulfur greater than, tellurium greater than, polonium. జాగ్రత్తగా చూడండి ఇక్కడ oxygen greater than, selenium greater than, sulfur greater than, tellurium greater than, polonium. So highest electron negative element ఎవరండి 16th group లో highest oxygen least electron affinity element
Oxygen.
Oxygen, sir.
see here oxygen highest electron negative element and also least electron affinity element in this group. Please keep in mind because of its atomic conditions and atomic conditions. Okay, so these are general trends. Next, about oxidation states of this group elements. Oxidation states, possible oxidation states. Guys, what about this 15th group elements oxidation states? Possible oxidation states. 15th group.
3 plus 5.
Five valence electrons, that is the highest plus 5. And getting -3 to +5 variable oxidation states are possible. What about here? Here.
Plus 6. Minus 2 to plus.
So all these group
Minus 2
so
to
the
plus.
general electronic configuration is NS2NP4. It is general outermost electronic configuration. I am representing C here. Ground state, general outermost electronic configuration. The box method I am using, boys. NS orbital, NS2, NP orbital, NP4. But outermost also contain D orbitals, boys. It is ND orbitals. It is the ground state electronic configuration. It is the ground state electronic configuration of our 16th group elements. So in this ground state, this contains 2 unpaired electrons and 2 paired electrons. 2 pairs of electrons. So that means, so all these 16th group elements, so if E is the 16th group element, it has 2 lone pairs and 2 unpairs in its outermost electronic configuration. It is in ground state. So at this condition, these elements may form either +2 oxidation state or -2 oxidation state. These are possible oxidation states. These are possible oxidation state in the ground state of our 16th group elements. So -2 and +2, -2 and +2. Okay, so in ground state. Next, for example, if one electron is excited from that paired condition to unpaired condition, it is first excited state. Excited state, outermost electronic configuration, that is NS2, NP condition, ND condition. It is NP. If this electron is jumping from here to here, now it has 4 unpaired electrons now. 1 paired electrons. 1 pair, boys. So because this contains 4 unpaired electrons, +4 is the possible oxidation state. So wherever +4 oxidation state is there, our 16th group element is in first excited state. See here, d orbital, the electron present in the d orbital also involved in bond formation. That means d orbitals can also form sigma bonding. Or sometimes may give pi bonding end. D orbitals participate, maybe sigma bond or maybe pi bond. Later we will discuss. Okay, so in first excited state, the possible oxidation state for our 16th group elements is +4.
+4.
What about oxygen? What about oxygen? Is oxygen has outermost d orbital
No,
or not?
sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
That is why is oxygen can exhibit +4 oxidation state.
No, sir.
That is why oxygen never exhibit +4 because of absence of d orbitals. Because +4 is possible if electron is excited from p to d end. So d orbital existence is there, automatically +4 is possible. So but oxygen never show that +4 oxygen is stated. No down here. Not for oxygen. Oxygen not shows this one. Except oxygen. Except oxygen, that +4 is possible. Next. What about this? -4 not exist, boys. So only negative oxygen state -2. So second excited state. Second excited state, outermost electronic configuration. If this electron is migrated from here to there, that is NS orbital, NP case, ND case. So actually, this is ground state. If this is excited from here to here, this is first excited state. See here, boys. So the electron present in the NS orbital, this is also present in the outermost orbit. It may be so readjusted like this. Now, how many unpaired electrons are and in this case?
6, sir.
So,
6,
6 unpaired electrons. 0 lone pairs. Am I correct? 0 lone pairs, 6 unpaired electrons. Because of this 6 unpaired electrons, +6 is the oxidation state. +6 is the oxidation state. Now tell me, what about oxygen? Is +6 is possible for oxygen or not?
Not
No,
possible.
sir. Not possible.
Not possible because here also
No, sir.
so it is except oxygen, these are possible, boys. Except oxygen, these are possible. Now observe, boys. Here in second excited state, NS electrons, that means S electrons are rearranged, boys. For example, if this S electron pair is not rearranged, what is the possible oxidation state? Maximum.
+4.
If this is
Four,
not
sir. +4.
+4 అవునా? సో అంటే ఈ ఎస్ లో ఉన్న ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ మనకి రీఅరేంజ్మెంట్ లో గానీ బాండింగ్ లో గానీ పార్టిసిపేట్ చేయకుండా ఉండే టెండెన్సీ
Inert pair.
ఇనర్ట్
effects.
పేర్ ఎఫెక్ట్ అంటాంగా. సో ఇఫ్ బికాస్ అవర్ ఎలిమెంట్స్ వాట్ ఆర్ దోస్ ఎలిమెంట్స్? ఆక్సిజన్, సల్ఫర్, సెలీనియం, టెల్లూరియం, పొలోనియం. In polonium, inert pair effect is applicable because of stage. Acceptable?
టెల్లూరియం కూడా
అమ్మా నేను పొలోనియం గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నా. ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్, పొలోనియం లో +6 ఆక్సిజన్ స్టేట్ పాసిబులా అంటే పాసిబుల్ అవ్వచ్చండి, బట్ వెరీ వెరీ అన్స్టేబుల్ అండి. సో ఇన్ కేస్ ఆఫ్ పొలోనియం +6 ఈజ్ అన్స్టేబుల్. ఒప్పుకుంటారా? డ్యూ టు ఇనర్ట్ పెయిర్ ఎఫెక్ట్. Due to inert pair effect, that +6 oxidation state is unstable. So, ఈ +6 oxidation state ఎప్పుడు possible అంటే very very important, that is in very higher oxidation, that is high electron element. Fluorine ఉంది కదా, ఫ్లోరిన్ తో ఏమన్నా పాసిబుల్ అవుతుందేమో కానీ నార్మల్ కేసెస్ లో నాట్ పాసిబుల్. దట్ టు పొలోనియం ఇస్ రేడియో యాక్టివ్. సో కాబట్టి వెరీ నెగ్లిజిబుల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అబౌట్ దట్ వి హ్యావ్. సో కాబట్టి ఇక నెక్స్ట్ ఇంకోటి ఎవరు అడిగారండి, సార్ వాట్ అబౌట్ దట్ టెలూరియం. సో ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసరికి +2 +4 +6 పాసిబుల్ అండి. ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసరికి +2 +4 +6 పాసిబుల్ అండి. ఇక్కడ కూడా +2 +4 +6 పాసిబుల్ అండి. సో ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేసరికి +2 +4 +6 +6 is almost unstable అండి. కాబట్టి హైయెస్ట్ స్టేబుల్ ఆక్సిజన్ స్టేట్ ఫర్ పొలోనియం is +4 బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ఇనర్ట్ పెయిర్ ఎఫెక్ట్. ఇక టెలూరియంకి వచ్చేసరికి +2 +4 +6 +6 is possible బాయ్స్. సంథింగ్ స్టేబుల్, నో డౌట్ ఎట్ ఆల్. టెలూరియం విషయంలో స్టేబుల్ అండి. ఇనర్ట్ పెయిర్ ఎఫెక్ట్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ నెగ్లిజిబుల్ పర్సెంటేజ్ అలా. సో కాబట్టి ఆ విషయంలో మాత్రం సో టెలూరియంలో కూడా పాసిబుల్ అండి. సో నౌ వాట్ అబౌట్ what are the possible oxygen state for our 16th group elements? Tell me. In ground state -2
Plus 2 or plus.
So in first excited state
Plus.
second excited state +6.
+6.
These are the possible oxygen states for our 16th group elements. These are the possible oxygen states for our 16th group elements. Let us observe some examples. Okay, మా ఇక్కడ చూడరా, ఫస్ట్ ఎగ్జైటెడ్ స్టేట్ లో దీంతో సంబంధం లేదండి. సో కాబట్టి D arbidus may not involved in the bond formation. But in second excited state, third excited state, D arbidus having unpaired electrons, because of that D arbidus may participate in the bond formation, either sigma bond or pi bond. So that means involvement of D arbidus through sigma bond, through pi bond, there is a topic end. మనం ఒప్పుకోవచ్చా? ఉందంటారా లేదంటారా? D arbidus మనం సిగ్మా బాండ్ పై బాండ్ గురించి డిస్కషన్ పెట్టాల్సిందేనంటారా కాదంటారా? పెట్టాల్సిందే, బికాస్ అక్కడ అన్పేడ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ఉంది. ఇక్కడ కూడా 2 అన్పేడ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఆ 2 అన్పేడ్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ సిగ్మా బాండ్స్ ఫామ్ చేయొచ్చు, లేకుంటే పై బాండ్స్ కూడా పాసిబుల్ కావచ్చు. రీజన్స్ చూద్దాం ఒక్కసారి.
Sir, oxygen +2 -2 sir.
అమ్మా
Oxygen.
ఆక్సిజన్ చెప్తున్నా ఇప్పుడు దాంట్లోకి వస్తా. అబౌట్ ఆక్సిజన్
సార్
అమ్మా
ఆక్సిజన్ ఆక్సిజన్ స్టేట్ +2 -2 సార్
చెప్తాను, వెయిట్ అండ్ సీ. +2 -2 ఇక్కడ వరకు నేను చెప్పినంత వరకు, ఇంకా డిస్కషన్స్ లో ఉన్నాయి.
సార్ ఫస్ట్ ఎక్సైటెడ్ స్టేట్ లో సార్ +1 ఆక్సిడేషన్ స్టేట్ లో హాఫ్ ఫిల్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ వస్తుంది సార్.
ఎక్కడమ్మా? +1 కండిషన్ లోనా? హాఫ్ ఫిల్ అంటే మరి ఇది ఉండకూడదుగా,
అందుకే సార్
లేకపోతే హాఫ్ ఫిల్. అది ఉంటే మరి తేడా వస్తుంది. ఇది అవుటర్ మోస్టేగా, ఈవెన్ దో ఇట్ ఇస్ D, దట్ షుడ్ బి అవుటర్ మోస్టేగా.
సార్ తను ఏమన్నంటే +1 అంటే ఆ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ పోతుంది కదా సార్, D లో ఉంది, హాఫ్ ఫీల్డ్ వస్తుంది, స్టేబుల్ అవుతుంది కదా సార్ అప్పుడు.
అంటే వినండి, ఇక్కడ ఇది ఎప్పుడు వస్తుంది నీకు? ఎలక్ట్రాన్ ఎగ్జైట్ చేస్తేనే వచ్చేది. చేయాలంటే లాట్ ఆఫ్ ఎనర్జీ రిక్వైర్డ్. ఆ కండిషన్, ఆ ఎనర్జీ దగ్గర ఈ బాండ్స్ కూడా ఫామ్ చేస్తాయి. స్టేబుల్ అవ్వచ్చు, నో డౌట్స్, అదన్న. కానీ అది ఇక్కడ +1 వచ్చి, +1 అంటే ఎలక్ట్రాన్ రిమూవ్ చేయాలి. ఇక్కడ +1 అంటే ఆక్సిజన్ స్టేట్ ఎలక్ట్రాన్ రిమూవ్ చేయొచ్చు, లేకుంటే బాండింగ్ ని బేస్ చేసుకుని చెప్పొచ్చు మనం ఆక్సిజన్ స్టేట్స్. అంటే ఓన్లీ +1 ఆల్వేస్ రిమూవింగ్ అని చెప్పడానికి లేదే. బాండ్స్ ఆ ఎగ్జిస్టెన్స్, కోవలెంట్ బాండ్ లో కూడా మనం ఆక్సిజన్ స్టేట్స్ తీసుకుంటాం. లూజింగ్ ఎక్కడ మాట్లాడతాం మనం? ఆల్వేస్ జనరల్ గా అయితే లూజింగ్ గెయినింగ్ మాట్లాడతాం, కానీ ఆల్వేస్ దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ స్ట్రిక్ట్లీ కరెక్ట్. చూద్దాం ఒకసారి, మళ్ళీ మిగతా ఆలోచిద్దాం. అబౌట్ ఆక్సిజన్, oxygen always exhibits -2 oxidation state. Oxygen always exhibit -2 oxidation. It is a component. It is a common oxidation state, boys. Okay, but in peroxides, oxygen has -1 oxidation state. And oxygen also exhibit -1 oxidation state. Oxygen also exhibit -1 oxidation state. In particular, the examples for that one is either H2O2 or Na2O2 like this. Here, oxygen state is -1. So that means is oxygen exhibit positive or negative, -1 oxidation or not? Yes,
Yes,
it
sir.
is corrected. Next, also in
Superoxide
superoxides,
Superoxides.
minus
in
half.
superoxides, oxygen has -1/2, which is a fractional oxygen state. What is nitrogen exhibit? Is nitrogen exhibit fractional oxygen state?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
N3
sir.
minus.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Already, yesterday we have
N3
a bit N3 minus, N3H.
Behave.
Nitrogen is in fractional state, which is acidic in nature. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So oxygen exhibit -1/2. It is a fractional oxygen state ending. So in superoxides, example for that one is KO2. KO2. Here K plus 1, O2 minus 1. O2 minus 1 means O has -1/2 oxygen. O has -1 oxygen state. So that means in all these cases, oxidation state of oxygen is a negative end. Correct or wrong? -2, -1, -1/2, all these are negative oxygen states. So therefore, oxygen exhibit -2, -1, -1/2 oxygen state. Along that, oxygen sometimes also exhibit positive oxygen state with high electronegative elements, particularly fluorine. Because
OF2.
fluorine is the only most electronegative element than this oxygen. Oxygen is the second best electronegative element. So with fluorine, oxygen exhibits positive oxidation states also. Oxygen exhibits positive oxidation state also. So example, O2F2, okay, and OF2. Here oxygen is in -2 oxygen state. Here oxygen is in +2 oxygen state, +1 oxygen state. So in O2F2, oxygen has +2. In OF2 +2, O2F2 +1. So these are nothing but boys. Here oxygen is in positive. That's why these are considered as fluorides. I means negative. Only fluorine is -1 oxygen state. Fluorides. These are fluorides, but not oxides. With oxides and these are considered as fluorides. Fluorides and next. So see here, XeO-F4. XeO-F4. Tell me the oxygen state of oxygen here. XeO-F4. F.
Plus,
So these are
plus
the
4, sir.
square conditions. It is double bond one. This oxygen has a -2 oxygen state. In XeO-F4, even though it is in combination with the fluorine, here oxygen not connected with fluorine, oxygen is connected with xenon. If oxygen connected with fluorine only, positive oxygen state. But here oxygen connected with xenon, so it should be negative. Here this oxygen is -1/2. Note down that -1/2, -2. There the oxygen state of oxygen is -2. Next, see here, O2Xe-F6. O2Xe, not Xe, PTA. It is better. O2-PT-F6. O2-PT-X6. So here it is as O2 plus ion, PTF6 minus ion. O2 plus ion, PTF6 minus ion. It exists like this. So it is important. It is important. Here oxygen has a positive oxygen state. Ionic state is available. O2 is in plus oxygen state, PTF6. Okay. So here also oxygen exhibit positive oxygen state. Here also oxygen exhibit positive oxygen state. See here, boys. As per NCERT, sulfur, selenium, tellurium exhibits -2, +2, +4, +6 oxygen states. Polonium exhibits +2 and +4 oxygen states. Polonium exhibits +2 and +4, but not +6. As per NCERT, please be careful. As per NCERT, that is possible. Okay, next, what about the stability cases? So see here, stability from top to bottom. Inert pair effect increases, correct or wrong? In a group from top to bottom, inert pair
Yes,
effect increases.
Yes, sir.
So what about stability? Stability of +4 oxidation state.
Increases.
Increases.
Sir.
Oxidation state increases, +3, +6 oxidation state decreases. This is the order of stability scores. Stability of +4 oxidation state increases and +6 oxidation state decreases. It is due to inert pair effect. Okay. So finally, tell me, boys, what are the possible oxidation state for our 16th group elements? -2 to +6. So that means oxidation state never exceeds its group number. Please conscious. Oxidation state never exceeds group number, and that too possibilities -2, +2, +4, +6. That means there is a difference of 2 only. +2, +4, +6. Difference of oxidation states is 2 is possible. Difference of oxidation state is 2 is possible. Okay. So this is about oxidation state, our 16th group elements.
Sir,
So
sulfur
DR does
zero. Sulfur zero also possible, no, sir, in SC.
every element has 0. Every element has 0. Except that 0 remaining are possible. What are the remaining are possible?
Plus
Except
2.
0.
Okay, sir.
+1 in O2 F2.
In O2 F2,
+1 ఉంది కదా సార్
అవును oxide
కన్సిడర్ చేసుకోలేదు కదా సార్ అక్కడ
ఏది
పైన
generally general cases so particularly oxygen has what are the possible? -2 possible, -1 possible, -1/2 possible, 0 possible, +1 possible, +2 possible. It is for oxygen. For oxygen, these are possible oxygen states. For remaining, these are possible.
Sir, +1/2.
Amma? -1, superoxides, -1/2. +1/2 not possible.
అక్కడ +1/2 ఉంది సార్.
sir.
ఏది
O2 PTF6.
O2
O2
PTF.
ఇక్కడ మాలిక్యులర్ కేసెస్ చెప్తాం జనరల్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ O2 మాలిక్యూల్ హ్యాస్ ప్లస్ దట్
Sir.
మాలిక్యూల్ ఇస్ వాట్ ఇస్
సార్ అన్నిటిలో ఏది ఎక్కువ ఎసిడిక్ సార్?
వద్దాం ఇప్పుడు తొందర ఇప్పుడే కదా స్టార్ట్ చేసింది మనం వెయిట్ అండ్ సీ ఎసిడిక్ కా బేసిక్ అన్నది
Sir, for polonium,
oxidation-
-2 also possible, no, sir?
అమ్మా
Polonium -2 also possible, no, sir?
polonium -2 because polonium metal, so polonium is metal is negative oxide. Tell me.
నో సార్.
No, Nena. So polonium is metal.
నో సార్.
Negative oxidation state not possible. Please, we see here sulfur, almost sulfur, selenium, tellurium also possible and negative. But polonium never exhibits negative oxidation state. Almost negative oxidation state not. Okay. Next one, nature of bonding. Nature of bonding. Boys, tell me, what about the electronegativity order of these elements? Based on that, we will discuss.
Oxygen greater than, selenium greater than,
Decrease.
Oxygen greater than,
selenium,
selenium greater than,
sulfur greater than,
sulfur greater than,
tellurium greater than,
tellurium,
polonium,
oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium,
polonium.
polonium. So in clear, these values are so 3.5 on Pauling scale values. It is a 2.48. Sulfur has a 2.44. Sometimes we may use it 2.44, 2.01. Polonium 1.76. So these are the electronegativity values of our 16th group elements. Our 16th group elements. Okay. Oxygen is the most electronegative element, boys. Okay. So it is the most electronegative. Therefore, it can form
హైడ్రోజన్
ionic compounds. Because the difference between the elements is very large. Large is the difference, ionic nature is there. Ionic compounds with metals. Ionic compounds with metals and covalent compounds with non-metals. Ionic compounds with metals and covalent compounds with non-metals. So because with metals there is a large difference. The difference of electronegativity greater than 1.7, that should be ion. Here electronegativity difference is less than 1.7, that is covalent in case or polar covalent in nature. Next, it is about oxygen. It is about oxygen. Next, about sulfur. About sulfurate. Sulfur in ground state. What is the oxidation state, boys? In ground state, negative is possible. In ground state, form ionic compounds. In ground state form ionic compounds as sulfides with metals. With metals as sulfides that can form ionic compounds. In higher oxygen stage, that is a +4, +6 cases, and in higher oxygen stage, either +2 also gives a covalent compound. In higher oxygen state gives covalent compounds. Let us observe the conditions. See here, boys. MnO, manganese monoxide exists. MnO2, manganese dioxide exists. Now similarly, MnS, in place of oxygen, sulfur is replaced. It is also exists, boys. MnS2, it is manganese monoxide, manganese dioxide. Sulfur monoxide, it is sulfur disulfide, manganese disulfide. This manganese disulfide is not exist, boys. Please be conscious. MnO2 exists, but not MnS2. Why not, sir? Why not? It is not possible. Okay. So because MnS2 has least lattice energy. So MnS2 has least lattice energy, boys. Very, very less lattice energy. Lattice energy is very, very less. So easy to break. That is not existing. Compound is not exist. Because of low lattice energy of MnS2, that is not exist. Here something lattice energy is more. So see here, boys, lattice energy is directly proportional to charge and inversely proportional to sum of the radii of cation and anion. Sum of the radii of cation and anion. So oxygen is small size, sulfur is big size. Because of size is increased, lattice energy is decreased. Because of that MnS2 has low lattice energy, therefore not exist, boys, not exist. Next. Most of the metal oxides in lower oxidation stage. Why is lower oxidation stage means low charge? In more lower oxidation stage, so have more lattice energy. Because more lattice energy, compounds are insoluble in water. Insoluble in water. Most of the cases, most of the metal oxides in lower oxidation stage, those metals are in lower oxidation state. Those metals are in lower oxidation state, oxygen is in -2 case, most of the cases. So there, so having more lattice energy insoluble in water. So metal and what type of metals are there? Those metals are either aluminum, Fe, Mn, Sn, like that. So these metal oxides in lower oxidation stage generally generally insoluble in water. Next, alagera. In case of sulfides, see here, ZNS, zinc sulfide, CDS, cadmium sulfide, HGS, mercuric sulfide, Cu2S, cuprous sulfide, Az2S, silver sulfide, PBS, lead sulfide. Okay, in these compounds, boys, in these cases, our metal has pseudo inert gas configuration. Pseudo inert gas configuration means 18 electron configuration. Our metal has pseudo inert gas configuration. Pseudo inert gas configuration means, so it is covalent in nature. Compound is covalent. That is why not soluble in water. That means these are covalent compounds, boys. So these are all pseudo inert gas configuration exists. Therefore, 18 electron configuration. Inert gas configuration is ionic. Pseudo inert gas configuration is covalent. Covalent tendency is there. That is why these are not soluble in polar solvent like water. So polar solvent like water. Observe the points. Okay, that means where it is covalent, where it is ionic. This is the time. This discussion was just a discussion towards is this ionic compound or covalent compound, how to decide this ionic tendency and covalent tendency. These are the some conditions towards property set. Next. Okay, no doubt. See here, boys. With non-metals, our 16th group elements can form covalent compounds. It is confirmed, boys. With non-metals, our 16th group element form covalent compounds. So note down the point, covalent compounds. Next. So no doubt our element oxygen, sulfur can form bonds. So this is called as covalency because covalent compounds are formed. So maximum covalency of oxygen is equal to 4. Very, very, very important. Maximum covalency of oxygen is 4. Why, sir? So oxygen can form hydrogen bonds. Those hydrogen bonds are also considered here. So due to hydrogen bonding bonds. Due to hydrogen bonding, maximum covalency of oxygen is 4. In remaining cases, for other metals, for others, maximum covalency is, tell me, 6N. For others, maximum covalency is 6N. Okay, so what is the maximum covalency of oxygen?
4.
Maximum covalency of oxygen is 4. See here, it is. So it can form 2 hydrogen bonds also. Therefore, overall covalency is equal to 4:1. Hydrogen bonds are also considered here. Hydrogen bonds can also considered here. Okay, so this is about nature of bonding. That means finally decided, boys, are these compounds can form ionic compounds or covalent compounds?
Covalent.
Huh?
Both ionic and
Mostly covalent.
covalent.
So
With metals,
ionic also possible. So mostly with oxygen and sulfur, ionic compounds are possible with metals. But most of the cases, those compounds are covalent compounds. That
Sir,
means
OF
finally our 16th group elements can form both ionic as well as covalent.
Sir,
Ionic
OF2
as
is
well as
ionic or covalent, sir. OF2 is ionic or covalent, sir.
OF2 na covalent ana. So eppudu chudandi ikkada OF2. So it is angular molecule. Later we will discuss in this chapter. It is OF2. What is the oxidation state of electronegativity of fluorine? 4 and here 3.5. The difference between these two is 0.5 itself. If electronegativity difference is greater than 1.7, then only the compound is ionic. Now what is the bond? Tell me.
Covalent bond.
Finally, so if the electronegative difference greater than 1.7, then only the bond is ionic. Otherwise, all those bonds are covalent. Please remember this point. Okay, next one. Next subheading. Next subheading, that is role of DR plus in sigma bonding. Boys, are these DR plus form sigma bond?
No.
These DR bonds can involve in sigma bonds or not? Tell me.
Yes, sir. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Best example SF6. SF6. Here sulfur is in +6 oxygen state. When it is possible, is this ground state first excited state or second excited state?
Second excited state.
Excited.
So here sulfur is in second excited state. We know in second excited state, that is NS orbital, NP orbital, and ND orbital. It is the second excited state of sulfur. Second excited state of sulfur is like this. All these orbitals are involved in hybridization that gives sp3d2 hybridization. That gives sp3d2 hybrid orbitals. Those d orbitals can also form bonds, sigma bonds. So that means here d orbitals can also participate in bond formation. The best example for this one is SF6. Yes, our d orbitals can also form bonds, boys. So SF6. Okay. Very, very important. So SF6 exists or not exists? Tell me.
Exists.
Is SF6 molecule exists or not exists?
Exists.
Why? Because
Exists, sir.
the presence of d orbitals or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So all these bonds are sigma bonds or not?
Sigma ones.
So 6 sigma bonds possibility means no doubt these two d orbitals are also involved in sigma bonds. Now d orbitals can form sigma bonds. So that is why in some cases our d orbitals may participate in sigma bonding also. This is the one of the examples. So wherever it is applicable, use that concept. Okay. Next one. See here. SF4. SF4. See here, sulfur. So 4 end. That means sulfur can form 4 bonds, boys. So with one lone pair. This is the structure of this one. So here, sulfur +4 oxygen state exists. Sulfur +4 oxygen state exists. Here, sulfur is in first excited state or second excited state or ground state?
First
First excited state.
First excited state means it is like this.
Presence of
Correct or
DR.
wrong? So now this orbital also involved in bond formation. That is also sigma bond formation. So here also d orbitals participate in the bond. So like this, wherever it is applicable, use this one. That means if sulfur is in first excited state and second excited state, there sigma bonds may also form. So these are some examples. Not only sulfur, selenium, tellurium may also. Next, role of d orbitals in pi bond formation. The next subheading, that is important. Role of d orbitals in pi bond formation. Role of d orbitals in pi bond formation. See here, boys. I am taking H2SO4. I am taking H2SO4. The structure of H2SO4 is sulfur, double bond O, double bond O. While sulfur can form 6 bonds again. OH, OH. It is H2SO4. It is the structure of H2SO4. Okay. The oxidation state of this sulfur is +2. Sorry, +6. So the oxidation state of this sulfur is plus 6. So plus 6 means first exit state or second exit stage?
Second exit.
Second exit
Second
state. Second
excited
exit state means, so this is the second exit state. NS orbital, NP orbitals, ND orbitals. See here, boys. How many bonds? It is sigma bond. This is a sigma bond. This is a sigma bond. This is a sigma bond. This is pi bond. This is pi bond. So in H2SO4, 4 sigma bonds and 2 pi bonds. Boys, or hybrid orbitals can form pi bonds. Hybrid orbitals pi bonds will form just there.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
First point, hybrid orbitals never form
5 bonds.
pi bonds. That means these 2 pi bonds not with hybrid orbitals. That means wherever pi bond is there, wherever number of pi bonds are there, that much number of orbitals are left from that element for pi bond formation. So here 2 pi bonds are there. That's why I'm using these 2 electrons for left for pi bond formation. That means only these orbitals are involved in hybridization. That's why it is sp3 and in this case sulfur is in sp3 hybridization. So that is why sulfur is in tetrahedral. I'm representing the molecule like this. It is the structure of H2SO4, not this one. So in clear, the structure of this H2SO4 is like this. Okay. So these 2 orbitals from sulfur side, this can form 1 pi bond, this one can form 1 pi bond. So from oxygen side, p orbital, from sulfur side, d orbital, sideways overlapping gives pi bond. This is p pi d pi bond. Here also, this is a pi bond. So this is also sulfur side p d orbital, oxygen side and p orbital. Therefore, p pi d pi bond. So that means in H2SO4, 2 pi bonds are there. Both the pi bonds are p pi d pi bonds. From oxygen side, p orbital, from sulfur side, d orbital involved in sideways overlapping like this. It is the sideways overlapping. It is from oxygen side, it is from sulfur side. So this is sideways overlapping, this is sideways overlapping. It is pi bond and so p orbital, d orbital, that is why it is p pi d pi bond. P pi d pi bond. So this is the possibility, boys. So that means in our 16th group elements, please be conscious. In our 16th group elements, except between oxygen and oxygen, except between oxygen and oxygen. Particularly in O2, there is a pi bond. This is a p pi bond. In S2, if you say S2, so here also p pi. So except like this, except like that. So remaining all cases, if pi bond is there, if that is sulfur, most of the cases those pi bonds from sulfur d orbital, from oxygen that is p orbital, p pi d pi bond forms a possible. See here, for example, SO2. Yes, double bond O, double bond O. Sulfur has one lone pair, boys. So here sulfur bond 4 bonds now. 4 bonds means sulfur is in plus 4 oxygen state. Where it is possible? Tell me.
First excited states.
First excited.
First excited state. In first excited state. So this is the case happening. Correct or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It has 4 unpaired electrons. So 2 pi bonds from sulfur is there and that is why leaves 2 orbitals for pi bond formation. So only these orbitals are involved in hybridization. What type of hybridization is there?
sp2.
sp2.
So here sulfur is in sp2 hybridization. From sulfur, so 1 p orbital and 1 d orbital are available for pi bond formation. That is why this is the orbital. This is the orbital. From phosphorus, p orbital. From sulfur, p orbital. This is a p pi bonds. What about this? From oxygen side, p orbital. So sulfur side, d orbital. It is a p pi d pi bond. Therefore, in SO2, what type of pi bonds are there? Both the pi bonds are identical or different?
Different.
Different. One is p pi bond, One is p pi p pi bond, one is p pi d pi bond. Clear enough?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next, that means finally are d orbitals involved in pi bond formation or not?
Yes, sir.
Involved,
In SO2, what is the hybridization of sulfur?
sp2.
P2, sir.
sp2. Now I am discussing about SO3 and sulfur trioxide also exists. So in gaseous state, sulfur trioxide is like this. That means it has 3 sigma bonds, 3 pi bonds. Here sulfur is in +6 oxidation state. +6 means second excited state. Second excited state. So it has 3 pi bonds. Leave these orbitals, these electrons for pi bond formation. Now what about the hybridization of this S? So here also sulfur is in sp2. In both SO2 and sp3, both cases, sulfur is in sp2 hybridization. Here 3 pi bonds are there, boys. 3 pi bonds are there. So those 3 pi bonds from sulfur side, 2 p orbitals, 1 d orbital are involved in sideways overlap. See here, oxygen p orbital, sulfur p orbital. It is p pi bonded. Here, p pi
2 p
p pi bonded. So this is pi bonded. One is p pi, one is d pi bonded. Correct enough?
Yes, sir. 2p, 1d.
2p 1d. That means here 3 pi bonds are there. One is 2 p pi bonds. One is p pi d pi bonded.
Sir, 1p, 1p.
Sir, 1p 2d no, sir. 1p 2d no, sir.
Oh, sorry. Yes. My చాలా సార్లు అడిగిన బిట్ ఇది 1 p pi 2 p pi d pi bonds. 2 p pi d pi bonds. See here, boy. Here. One is a p pi. One is a p pi. It is a p pi d pi. See, boys, these two are involved in sideways over. That is the resonance conditions are. So seems to be like this, no doubt. But it is a p pi d pi. Here it is a p pi. It is a p pi d pi. These p orbitals involved in resonance also. These are the resonance structures. So that means it is also because of that stability of the SO2 molecule is increased. Finally decide, are these p orbitals involved in sideways overlapping or not? Are these d orbitals involved in sideways overlapping or not? Are these d orbitals can participate in pi bond formation or not?
Yes, sir.
Possible or not possible?
Possible, sir.
Confirm?
Yes, sir.
Confirm, sir.
Like this. That means sometimes d orbitals may involved in sigma bonds, sometimes may involved in pi bond formation depending on situation. That means our d orbitals can form both sigma bonds as well as pi bonds.
Pi bonds.
From these elements. This is role of d orbitals in sigma bonding and also in pi bonding. Next point. Next subheading. Catenation. What is this catenation? Self-linkage of similar atoms to form long chains, branches, and rings. That is called catenation, boys. So in our 16th group elements, so sulfur exhibits maximum catenation. Sir, why not oxygen? See here, boys. See, in our 15th group elements, nitrogen, phosphorus has more catenation, but not nitrogen. Am I correct? My 15th group Laura.
Yes, sir.
Not formed, sir. Nitrogen not possible.
Yes, sir.
Reason ఏంటంటే catenation is directly proportional to bond energy between similar atoms. Bond energy directly from bond energy of bonds.
Catenation
Directly
decreases
proportional to bond energy of a bond between similar atoms. Same atoms, not similar. Between same atoms. That means, for example, if nitrogen and nitrogen both are there, a bond is there. Phosphorus is there. It is about 15th group elements. Oxygen bond is there. Sulfur bond is, it is in 16th group elements. Next, Fluorine is there. After that, chlorine is there. See here, boys. These are all small atoms. When compared to phosphorus, nitrogen is small atom. When compared to sulfur, oxygen is small atom. Fluorine is a small atom. And because a small size atom, there should be a lone pairs, boys. That means there is a greater repulsion between these two lone pairs. That is why this bond is weakened. It has a weak bond. That is why here bond length
Less
of
bond energy.
Cl greater than F. Clear or not? Certain not bond length, is bond energy. Bond energy of Cl greater than F. Clear enough? More repulsions now. Lone pair. More repulsions due to small size of fluorine. Correct, size equal. So atoms, electron pair something far away. That is the repulsions are less. That is why this bond is strong. Similar theory is also applicable, boys. Here also bond energy of OO less than that of SS. Clear enough? Correct enough?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Here also same end. Bond energy of NN less than that of ppm. So that means where more bond energy is there, that bond is strong. If bond is strong, such type of bonds are easy to form. That is nothing but catenation. Therefore, catenation is directly proportional to bond energy of that bond between similar atoms. So because of that, here sulfur bond energy is very, very high. So therefore, it has maximum catenation power. So almost 8 to 10, more than 16 sulfur atoms can combine it. So boys, in our entire periodic table, carbon is the best catenating power elevated. Highest catenation power is applicable for carbon. After that, the sulfur should be the second best catenating power element. Second best catenation power element is sulfur because of more bond energy. Okay? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
SS bond is stronger than OO bond. Kartena. SS bond is stronger than OO bond. Kartena.
Yes, sir.
Okay, na? Next,
Yes, sir.
oxygen sulfur. Next, selenium, tellurium. Almost no catenation. Almost no catenation. Polonium goes to metal, never form catenation. So that means highest catenation power is applicable for in this group, particularly sulfur. So top to bottom, from oxygen to sulfur, catenation increases and then decreases. Highest for sulfur. It is about catenation. Next, allotropy. Next one, allotropy. What is allotropy, boys?
Same chemical
Different
property.
physical properties, same chemical.
Existence of single element in more than one physical forms, but chemically is the same.
Chemical property.
Different physical forms, chemically same. That is called as allotropy. And here also, our 16 group elements can also form allotropy, boys. See here, oxygen, O2, O3 are existent. O3 is the allotrope of oxygen. One of the allotropes of oxygen is O3. So O3 is considered as allotropes. So these two are the allotropy forms of this oxygen. Oxygen can give allotropes. All these 16 group elements. First point, all these elements can exhibit allotropy. First point, oxygen. What are the allotropes of oxygen? Oxygen, peroxide, dioxide, and ozone are allotropes of oxygen. Dioxide and ozone are allotropes of oxygen. Next case, sulfur. Sulfur can form number of varieties, boys. That is alpha sulfur, beta sulfur, gamma sulfur, xi sulfur, okay, plastic sulfur, like that. Alpha sulfur is nothing but orthorhombic sulfur. So beta sulfur is nothing but monoclinic sulfur. Monoclinic sulfur. So like this, number of allotropes, more number of allotropes are exhibited by sulfur bonds. More number of, a large number of sulfur can form large number of allotropes. We will discuss about these allotropes in our sulfur and its compounds heading, subheading it. About sulfur, we will discuss this allotrope later. Please wait. Next.
Sir, what is last allotrope, sir?
Xi. It is Xi.
Sir, polonium is metal na, sir. How can it form allotrope?
Amma?
Polonium kuda ela sir allotrope.
Different. What is allotrope? Different structural arrangements. Solids can give different structural arrangements. Why not? Arrangements cause all metals have different structural arrangements. Already మనం D and F లో discuss చేసాం. different forms.
Sir.
Amma?
అక్కడ bismuth sir 15th group.
So that is the nature of that particular element. కొంతమంది చదువుతున్నారు, కొంతమంది చదవట్లేదు. Nature is entered. That is the property of that particular element. All these are facts. Reasons are
Sir, why polonium doesn't exist catenation, sir?
Because low melting point. There is bond. That is a bond between that polonium and polonium is weakest. Almost like a metallic bond, covalent bond in there. Metals no marke.
Okay.
Pure metal sir.
Metallic bonds are formed. Next, third one, oxygen sulfur selenium sided. Selenium has 6 allotropes. Selenium has 6 allotropes. Among them, 4 red forms, 2 gray forms. Selenium has 6 allotropes. Out of 6, 4 red varieties, 2 gray varieties. So these gray varieties are most stable forms. Gray varieties are most stable cases. Next, tellurium. Tellurium side. See here, boys. Crystalline form of tellurium is isomorphous with gray selenium. Gray selenium. Isomorphous means, tell me boys, what is the meaning of isomorphous? Similar structure. Different elements, but structures are same. That is called as isomorphous. So tellurium, crystalline form of tellurium is isomorphous with gray form of selenium. It is that is selenium. Next, polonium. It has 2 allotropes. One is alpha form, another one is beta form. So it has 2 allotropes. One is alpha form, another one is beta form. These are the allotropic conditions, boys. Among all, we have in syllabus, particularly sulfur case. Okay. So these are all some general physical properties, of our 16th group elements. Next point. Next subheading, boys. Chemical properties, general chemical properties. Of our 16th group elements. General chemical properties of 16th group elements. First one, action of air. That means if our element is bound in air contains nitrogen, oxygen. Am I correct? So if it is bound in this air, that may react with nitrogen or may react with oxygen, may not react with both of these. Everything is possible. And what happened in this case? See here, boys. except oxygen, because oxygen is the element present in the air, except oxygen, other elements born in air, other elements born in air, giving respective oxides. Other elements gives respective oxides when it is born in air. Respective oxides. See here, boys. Sulfur with oxygen gives sulfur dioxide. It is the oxygen from air. Boys, sulfur side 2 oxides possible, SO2 possible, SO3 possible, but in this case SO3 is not formed. When sulfur bond in air, only SO2 is possible, SO2 is stable one. SO2 is stable one. That is why stable compound is possible. SO2 is only possible, it is not SO3. No SO3 is formed. Not formed. నోట్ చేయండి, తర్వాత మనోళ్ళ డౌట్లు వస్తాయి. సార్ ఇక్కడ SO3 కూడా రాసుకోవచ్చు కదా. Not formed because SO2 is stable. SO2 is stable. Okay, mind it. ఇక్కడ చూసుకోండి, even in excess of oxygen, నువ్వు ఆక్సిజన్ పెంచినా ఇదే వస్తుంది, అంతేగాని SO3 రాదు. Even in excess of oxygen, only SO2 is the product. Only SO2 is the product. So this SO2 is colorless gas. Colorless gas, so that is suffocating gas. Suffocation. Suffocating gas. And man feels inhalation, suffocation. Okay, finally, only SO2 is the product, not SO3. Even though excess of oxygen is created, only SO2 is the final product. Next, selenium. When selenium reacts with oxygen, gives selenium dioxide. Similarly, tellurium reacts with oxygen, gives tellurium dioxide. Polonium gurinchi ekkuva discussion avasam ledu, don't waste your time. So that means except oxygen, because oxygen ikkada react avutundi kabatti, except oxygen, remaining element gives respective oxides when it is burned in air. Air lo ఉన్న oxygen tho adi reaction loki vastunda. Next, second point. Second one, action of water. Action of water. See here, boys. Our 6A element with water, no reaction. Our 6A element with water, no reaction. So please, గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, తప్పకండి. ఎందుకు ఏంటన్న తర్వాత చూద్దాం, ఎందుకంటే ఆక్సైడ్ లేయర్ ఫామ్ అవడం అవన్నీ జరుగుతూ ఉంటాయి. సో నాట్ పాసిబుల్, నో రియాక్షన్ విత్ అవర్ ఎలిమెంట్. నెక్స్ట్, రియాక్షన్ విత్ యాసిడ్స్. Reaction with acids, boys. మన దగ్గర ఉన్న యాసిడ్స్ అన్ని 2 types ఉన్నాయి. One is HCl, H2SO4, HNO. They are frequently used acids. HCl is considered as non-oxidizing acid. These two are oxidizing acids because these are acts as oxidizing agents. It is not oxidizing agent. Because it is not oxidizing agent, this HCl is not considered as non-oxidizing agent. Non-oxidizing acids. These two are oxidizing acids, oxidizing agents. That is why these acids are considered as oxidizing acids. See here, boys. Our 16th group element, our 6A group element with HCl, that is nothing but non-oxidizing agent, non-oxidizing acids. with HNO3, that is with HCl, no reaction. And ఈ ఎలిమెంట్స్ ఆక్సిడైజ్ చేసే కెపాసిటీ HCl లేదు కాబట్టి నాట్ పాసిబుల్. But with H2SO4 or HNO3, there is a reaction. There is a reaction. So with HCl, no reaction. With H2SO4 and HNO3, it gives reaction. Next, once again, this H2SO4 also acts as dehydrating agent. Artenera in చెప్తుంది H2SO4 dehydrating agent ఏనా? Dehydrating agent means
Yes, sir.
వాటర్ అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తున్నాడు. డిహైడ్రేటింగ్ ఏజెంట్. కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ జనరల్ గా ఏంటంటే వీటితో రియాక్ట్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు ఇక్కడ యాసిడ్స్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు కాంపౌండ్స్ ఫామ్ అవుతాయి. కాంపౌండ్స్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు కాంపౌండ్స్ ఫామ్ అవుతాయి. ఓకే, ఆ కాంపౌండ్స్ ఫామ్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు అండి ఈ కాంపౌండ్స్ నుండి బికాజ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ డిహైడ్రేటింగ్ ఏజెంట్, సో అవర్ H2SO4 once again removes respect to water and ఈ వాటర్ నుండి respect to oxides of the products. In the presence of H2SO4, final compounds are oxides. In the with reaction with HNO3, final compounds are acids. Respective compounds are somebody acids form out any element react out oxides are the final products. H2SO4 to oxides are the final products. Oxides are the final products. HNO3 to asta acids are the or ic acids mainly products. Let us observe the cases. If sulfur reacts with H2SO4, sulfur reacts with H2SO4, that too concentrated H2SO4 gives 2H2O plus SO2, 3SO2. See here, it is the oxide. Next, selenium with H2SO4 concentrated already. Selenium with H2SO4, that gives two times. That gives 2H2O plus 2SO2 plus 2SeO2. See here, once again oxides. Oxides are the products. Next, tellurium with H2SO4, once again concentrated, gives 2H2O plus 2SO2 plus TeO2. Once again observe it, these are the oxides. So with H2SO4, the products are oxides because our H2SO4 is oxidizing agent as well as dehydrating agent. So kada form a compounds ni water ni kuda absorb chestunadi. So that is why finally oxides are the final products. Is there any doubt up to now?
No, sir.
Okay. Now what about HNO3? In case HNO3 reaction ఇవన్నీ కూడా ఆక్సిడైజ్ చేస్తున్నారు కాబట్టి ఆక్సిడైజింగ్ యాసిడ్స్ మాత్రమే మన రియాక్షన్ లో వస్తారా. HCl is not oxidizing acid. That is why HCl not reacts with these elements. For example, if sulfur reacts with HNO3, take it as concentrated, gives H2SO4 plus H2O plus NO2 gas. NO2, boys, H2SO4. All cases SO2 is there. HNO3, in all cases NO2 should be there. HNO3, one of the products must be NO2. So with H2SO4, one of the products is SO2. But others are also oxides. But here others are acids. Sulfur turns into acid. Sulfuric acid. Next, selenium, it is 6HNO2. Selenium, this is 6HNO3. With the concentrated case, that gives H2SeO4 plus H2O plus NO2. So selenic acid, or say if it is 4 times, it is H2SeO3, selenous acid. So depending on situations. So selenous acid, selenic acid, in most of these, ic acids may be products. Next, similarly, tellurium. If tellurium reacts with HNO3, concentrated, that gives H2 TeO4 plus H2O plus NO2. NO2, telluric acid. So therefore, with HNO3, our element is changed to ic acid. Our element is changed to ic acid. Okay, see here. See here. And that nitrogen is converted into nitrous, nitric NO2 gas. That is reddish brown gas. NO2 gas. Here, our element is changed to respect to oxide. Here, element is changed to acid. So that is a distinguished point between when with HNO3 and H2SO. H2SO4 is dehydrating agent. కాబట్టి అక్కడ ఫామ్ అని ఇన్ కేస్ ఇక్కడ కూడా ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ H2SO3 ఫామ్ అయి ఉండొచ్చు. సో ఈ H2SO3 నుండి వాటర్ రిమూవ్ చేస్తే H2O plus SO, సారీ H2SeO3.
H2O plus SeO2.
ప్లస్
SeO2. ఈ H2O ఎందుకు బయటకు వచ్చింది? ఇక్కడ మన దగ్గర ఉన్నది H2SO4 కాబట్టి అది absorb
H2SO4 dehydrating agent.
that is why this is the answer, boys. That is why this is the answer. Okay na? So this is about reaction with acids. HCl తో రియాక్షన్ లేదు కానీ H2SO4 HNO3 తో అయితే రియాక్షన్ ఉంది. నెక్స్ట్
ఓన్లీ కాన్సన్ట్రేటెడ్ తోనే ఉంటాయి అసలు.
డైల్యూట్ తో కూడా ఉన్నాయి, బట్ మనకు ఇంపార్టెంట్ కాన్సన్ట్రేటెడ్ తర్వాత ఇండివిజువల్ వెళ్ళినప్పుడు డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. వస్తే డైల్యూట్ కేసెస్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. మొత్తం చాప్టర్ అయ్యేలోపు డైల్యూట్ తో కూడా వస్తాయి. ఓకేనా? నెక్స్ట్ రియాక్షన్ విత్ బేసిస్.
Dilute kick acid can form అవుతాయి.
ఫామ్ అవుతాయి. వెయిట్ మొత్తం అయిన తర్వాత చూద్దాం. ఇండివిజువల్ గా వచ్చినప్పుడు చాలా యాక్సిడ్స్ చాలా రియాక్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, చెప్తాను అక్కడ. ఓకే, అవర్ ఆక్సిజన్ విత్ ఎ బేస్ నో రియాక్షన్. నెక్స్ట్ అవర్ సల్ఫర్ విత్ ఎ బేస్. మా రియాక్షన్స్ అన్ని సల్ఫర్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు నోట్ చేద్దాంరా. ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయట్లేదు. ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ డిస్ప్రపోర్షనేషన్ రియాక్షన్. Disproportionation reaction. Disproportionation reactions. Next, these two are very, very important. Next, note point, very, very important reaction there. When sulfur reacts with dissolved in water, H2O, that gives K2S. Just a minute. KOH. KOH this gives K2S plus K2S2O3 plus H2O. K2S2O3 plus H2O. This K2S once again reacts with sulfur, that gives K2S5. K2S5. See here the disproportionation reaction. My overall reaction చూడండి. బ్యాలెన్స్ చేసుకుని ఓవరాల్ రియాక్షన్ అప్లై చేయండి. నేనేం చేయట్లేదు కనుక బ్యాలెన్స్ చేసి ఓవరాల్ రియాక్షన్ చెక్ చేసుకోండి. పాలిసల్ఫైడ్ పెంటాసల్ఫైడ్ బాయ్స్ ప్లీజ్. పెంటాసల్ఫైడ్ అంటే ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే 2K plus ions S5-2. S5-2 means 5 కదా, ఇది -1 ఇది -1. This is S2 S5-2 pentasulfide ion అని చెప్తాం. Okay, so it is a disproportionation reaction. Here sulfur 0 ra, here sulfur -2 ra, here sulfur +2 ra. Check చేయడం ఒకసారి. What is the oxidation state of sulfur here?
+2 sir.
+2 nena. So is this same element involved in reduction and oxidation? And is this disproportionation or not?
Yes sir.
Okay, so this is the reaction, boys. This is redox reaction, disproportionation, redox reaction, disproportionation reaction. Okay, next one, reaction with non-metals. reaction with non-metals. So for boron non-metal with our oxygen gives B2O3 respect to oxide. Next, alage sulfur తీసుకున్నాం అనుకున్నా. Sulfur with oxygen gives SO2. Our elements with oxygen. Sulfur non-metal, boron non-metal. So non-metals reaction like involve అయితే respect to oxides of the products boys. Respect to oxides, those oxides are acidic oxides mostly acidic oxide boys. So these are some cases boys. These are some reactions towards general reaction towards our 16th group elements. Tomorrow we will take about particular compounds, hydrides and like that. Hydrides, oxides, we will discuss one by one. Okay. So right now I'm stopping this concept here. Thank you.
Right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.